Hey guys, it's Maddie, and today we are super excited to show you all the next episode of our newest series called Trucking Culture, which will cover all kinds of music, movies, and other media that have made a major impact on the trucking industry. In today's episode number 3, we will be featuring the fan favorite film White Line Fever. But before we get started, this video was made possible by our online Chrome shop, jaxchromeshop.com. For a sweet 4th of July treat to you all, we figured we would feature our fan favorite Trucking Culture series with exclusive early access for everyone this month on both Patreon and YouTube. Also, be sure to stop by the site and sweep through our fiery hot 4th of July sales selection, including a special Independence Day weekend deal featuring double the savings on steering wheels, bumpers, exhaust, visors, and more. Save 20% July 4th and 5th, and 10% off the rest of the month at Jax Chrome. And remember, folks, if your rig don't shine, you don't know Jack. Deputy Dog, you know who this is. You call him and tell him I'm coming. Ya hear? Produced in the prime time of trucking, White Line Fever is a freight-haulin film from the year 1975 that tells the tried and true tale of a trucker just trying to survive. Between battling cargo crooks and corrupt carrying companies, this action crime neo-noir followed the fable of a no-nonsense owner-operator and all of the ups and downs he is introduced to in the industry. The film's title, White Line Fever, is a term that comes from trucking culture, also known as highway hypnosis, which is when you've been driving for too long, concentrating on the lines on the road, and it eventually lulls you into a state of altered consciousness, causing a less alert, almost autopilot-like mindset. Written and directed by Jonathan Kaplan, who received the offer from Columbia Pictures to make the movie after the success of Truck Turner the year prior, White Line Fever would make $35 million at the box office and nearly $6 million in theatrical rentals. Not too bad for a film with a $1.4 million budget to begin with. Shot and filmed primarily around Tucson, Arizona, and surrounding areas, including Monument Valley in Utah, White Line Fever starred Jan Michael Vincent as main character Carol Joe or CJ, Kay Lenz as Jerry, and Slim Pickens as Dwayne. Created on the curtails of the cult classic freight-haulin film Smokey and the Bandit, Kaplan's goal was to capture the same Sam Peckinpah style, modern-day Western vibes with White Line Fever, while also, quote-unquote, politically trying to counteract the right-wing vigilantism of other pictures around the time. After acting in several smaller roles throughout the late 60s and early 70s, Jan Michael Vincent was selected for the starring role in White Line Fever, after being sought out by Peter Guber at Columbia Pictures, who thought Vincent would become the next big star. And although Vincent proceeded to play more memorable parts in movies like Big Wednesday with Gary Busey, Hooper with Burt Reynolds, and later Airwolf with Ernest Borgnine, director Jonathan Kaplan claims that White Line Fever was, ironically, the first film where Vincent began using cocaine. Unfortunately, following the filming of White Line Fever, Vincent would continue to struggle with alcoholism and intravenous drug use for much of his life. These addiction issues eventually led to even more problems for the actor, including a collection of charges involving multiple arrests for possession of cocaine in the late 1970s, back-to-back arrests in 1984 and 1985 for bar brawls, followed by a felony assault charge in 1986, as well as a slew of several severe, nearly deadly drunk driving incidents later in life, as well as numerous other assault charges. Despite Vincent's debilitating drug use, White Line Fever was still seen as a soaring success, and in January of 1976, Columbia distributed the film theatrically on a double bill with another 1975 film, Bite the Bullet, starring Gene Hackman. Meanwhile, across the world in the UK, White Line Fever was commonly featured as the main film on a double bill with The Nightcaller, where it saw even more skyrocketing success. Thankfully, because according to a 1975 Newsweek magazine article, the climactic truck crash scene through the corrupt company's sign cost approximately $130,000 alone to stage and shoot, which is equivalent to around $630,000 today. Speaking of the trusty Blue Mule truck, the main truck used throughout most of the film is a 1974 Ford WT-9000 model, although 6 total trucks were used for the film, with 3 bought by the studio and 3 supplied by Ford. However, the same scene mentioned earlier where Carol Jo charges the Glass House Company, 2 totally different Ford W9000 tractors were used, with 5-hole steel wheels as opposed to the polished 10-hole aluminum wheels featured on CJ's other Ford freight haulers from the film. Once again, speaking of that same scene, if you look closely inside the cab of the truck while CJ weaves around Officer Bob to try to run him off the road, you'll see Pops, who passed away earlier on in the movie, lean out the window and shoot at the police car. Several other minor mistakes made their way into the movie as well, including another scene where Pops and CJ collide with the dark green Ford truck they're being chased by, oddly resulting in absolutely no damage done to Carol Jo's rig. Additionally, many made mention that the film's final scene and freeze frame, featuring CJ coming out of the hospital in his wheelchair to find a band of his followers forming in awe and admiration for his courageous act, was a poorly redone ripoff from the film Billy Jack, featuring Tom Laughlin. Continuing on with one of the movie's main characters, the beloved Blue Mule, and its various vehicle variants used throughout the feature flick are all said to have been subsequently scrapped due to damage done during filming. Although many Blue Mule buffs don't believe this to be true, and some have even sworn they've spotted the famous Ford hauling freight on the highways today. Thank you so much for watching our all-new trucking culture series featuring White Line Fever. Before you leave, make sure you like the video, check out the other videos on our channel, and subscribe. We have finally reached our goal of 20K subscribers and are very close to 25K. So thank you all so much for your support for the show. Next stop, 50K. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything else you'd like to talk to us about, please be sure to tune into our live podcast, The Chrome Corner, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time, and join Dave and Maddie as they answer viewers' questions and discuss all things Chrome. If you'd like to stay up to date on the new projects we have coming, please follow us at Jack's Chrome Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to buy your big rig the best chrome for your home with some sweet stainless on sale for the entire month of July on our website at jackschromeshop.com. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next week, and remember folks, if your rig don't shine, you don't know Jack.